Hello.
Is this Miss Sanders?
Hey.
Hello, and
How are
how
you?
are you?
I am good.
It's been a long, 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 long time.
I know since the last politics, maybe.
It's been a good music. I have to be honest. I don't know because you're a vast individual, so you have so much on your plate. I'm not really sure how deep into politics you still are. I just know you understand and know the politics game. So you have to uh, uh, give me the update our listeners, and then we start from there because I want to get into your thoughts and opinions about this particular political season that we're in, and then all the information you think that these folks need to know so we can get them out there to vote.
Okay. And then, yeah, of course.
So wherever you want to start, Miss Sanders. So what's the latest in your life? Let me find out about you first.
Well, I've just been, of course, still working on politics and helping to train women about, doing voter registration, getting other people in the community around Texas involved, and really trying to get the community more focused on issues
Hmm.
and taking not just voting, but like how do you take your accountability power to begin to draft the type of agendas, the things that you want,
Hmm.
and then get them. So doing advocacy as well.
All right, and I also want you to mention because of course you're an author, so you've written a book, and I don't know if you're working on another book, but I definitely want to get that out there.
Yes. So I have a book, In Your Weight Up, things we can all do to make America better. And ironically, um, the book talks about a lot of what we're going through right now and have been going through over this last 6 months.
Hmm. Mm. And in what terms? In what terms? Obviously not COVID, but what you've been seeing politically.
Definitely not COVID.
Right, right.
Um, but in particular, how we have this small window, and we've created, because of the lack of political engagement, this
Mm.
urgency for us to have to respond to systems that have been breaking down. And there are several suggestions that I made, including supporting sports and supporting the things that bring us together, but focused on how each of us are now at a place where we can't lean on the same challenges, lean on the same stories of our ancestors, white Americans and black Americans in particular, but we've got to begin to face some of the things that have kept us in these like different cycles politically and socially. And if we can't do that over this next period of 15 years, I don't know what's going to happen, but it really is a point that we've never been at in American history,
Yep.
where the political and the social is being forced to change and transform. And I'm talking about like the school systems. There's so much information, no one can keep their eyes closed. Black Voters Matter, these movements and all of these protests, nobody can sit on the sidelines anymore, and we just don't live in that kind of space. So everyone will have to come to grips with what type of responsibility they're taking for their communities, and then also like what place they own in the country. And it's all equal, and we all have to accept that, or it's
Christina
not going to work.
Sanders is who we're talking to, aka the Politic author and incredibly bad woman, voting rights expert. I'm just curious. Do you think? I mean, and you've seen this over the years, the passiveness of voters. Do you really believe with all the stuff that's going on right now, what we've seen this administration doing, the heated debates about things all the way to Mr. Floyd from Houston who passed away because of police brutality, et cetera, et cetera. Do you really think that now the electorate will be motivated to get out there and start getting a vote on? Or will it still be a passive situation where they're like, oh, Donald Trump's going to win anyway. Just let him go do what he's going to do?
Well, I hope that everyone will keep the momentum for knowing that they need to vote.
Right.
But you know what? I think people are there. And I'll tell you this. When we get to October and people have gone months without, any type of assistance from the government, for those that work as like, servers or in places where they're closed because of coronavirus, or people who were getting unemployment no longer receiving it and the government not stepping in, the evictions, according to many Texas cities, are going up at alarming rates. When that happens in October, people are definitely going to be interested in change. And you know what's going to be on the chopping block? The leadership that's on the ballot. And I think it's going to be a big deal because people will not just start hurting then. People are hurting right now. And once the conversations about how they begin to articulate that through the democratic process, it's going to definitely make an impact in November.
All right, Ms. Sanders, we had an interesting conversation a couple of days ago as it relates to this. The present administration will be able to use to him or their advantage that, you know, there's a lot of people, yes, true, out of work, but there are a lot of people now who are out of work making more money than they were making when they were working. Not only that, if you saw the numbers recently, the numbers for unemployment, they're starting to go down. There's somebody that's about to take credit for that and will be able to say, look at what that last guy did. He wasn't able to put money in your pocket like this. He wasn't able to get you back into jobs like this. And now you got money in your pocket. Things are looking better for you. And that guy never did nothing. He never put money in your pocket the way I just put money in your pocket. And now I'm putting money in your pocket and you ain't even really working. And I think it will be used to to the administration's advantage. I don't want to say Donald Trump, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. There's not a long way you can go with that kind of money in Texas. There's not a long way you can go if you're paying your bills. And that argument is that's unfair. And then also, it's not happening anymore. Those funds are being cut off. They've not been renewed by Congress. And so it's going to hit a lot of people who were getting unemployment who aren't going to get it because the funds have run out. In addition to that, the numbers when it comes to unemployment, they don't mean necessarily that the numbers going down. That means numbers of people actively registered and seeking employment. Why would you actively seek employment? How would you be able to actively seek employment right now? So naturally, because of how the formula is set up, you're going to see unemployment numbers go down because people can't actively seek because of COVID-19. Gotcha. And so I think that it's a lot of people who may have supported the president and the administration who will understand that, you know, if you can't pay your bills, it doesn't have anything to do with racism or party. You can't pay your bills. And the government is doing nothing to help you or assist you from the top down.
All right, so here we are. We're a couple of months away from being able to vote somebody else new in or continue with what we have now. What are some things that you can say to us, important things that people need to know about voting? Because this is definitely right up your alley. Something that they may not know, they may not be aware of, things they need to keep in mind as we get ready to get our vote on in November.
Okay, yeah. First things first, always check to make sure that you're registered to vote. But I think some big important changes has been like how to vote in the age of COVID. So some states you get to vote by mail, but in Texas, actually the Attorney General and the Governor took it to the Supreme Court, so we can't vote by mail, which is kind of disrespectful.
Is that crazy? But I don't even want to go there, but that's crazy.
That's a hot mess.
Yes.
So, but notwithstanding that, that means that you'll have to, if you don't have a disability or if you're not over 55, you'll have to, or, you know, there are a couple other things. You'll have to go to vote at a polling location in person. Mm-hmm. Luckily, there are a lot of people in Harris County who are trying to make sure there's enough centers, there's enough workers, and that it's safe. It's actually safer than going to the grocery store, especially at the runoff. It went really well, but everybody needs to be prepared for that.
Yes.
To vote in light of COVID. And also, if you voted before in a presidential election or even an election, you had something called straight ticket voting, where you could hit one button and it highlighted everybody in your party. And it's one of the things that helped us to get those 19 black female judges in that previous election.
Yep.
However, the legislature, probably because of that election and others, they have now made it where you can't do straight ticket voting. So
I didn't know that. Did they really?
Yes.
I did not know that. That's gangster. So they took that ability away.
Yes.
Wow. Didn't know.
So you're going to have to give yourself time and be prepared with your ballot, which you can take in the booth with you.
Wow.
But you're going to have to go all the way down your ballot. And I encourage everybody to please, please, please do all of that. For the sake of George Floyd or anybody in the justice system, you need to go all the way down your ballot and make sure you have a candidate all the way.
Wait a minute, Ms. Sanders. Just one time. Let me be clear. When did they do that? Because I just voted, and I thought I did straight tickets. So you're saying that they just made this a rule where you can't?
Election. Yeah.
Wow. That's gangster. They took that ability. Slick.
Well,
wow. Okay. Sorry. That you just blew me away with that. Did not know that.
Yeah, so those are the key things for folks to just get themselves ready and make sure everybody around them is ready, because we're going to go vote. It doesn't matter. Everybody needs to get up and we need to go vote.
All right. And then just for clarity's sake, oftentimes with brothers and sisters who have been in prison, oftentimes they don't know that they have the ability to vote if they're off paper. Yes.
So if you have had a felony and you are off probation and parole, you are not on papers at all, you can register and you can vote.
And how much time do they have to be registered to in advance of being able to vote in the election?
So October 5th is the last day to register.
Okay.
You only need to be registered 30 days before. There aren't, it's going to be challenging because there aren't many places where you can do a voter registration right now. But at any of the county locations, I don't know if any libraries are open. But you can always call Harris County, and they will have registration cards available, and they could potentially even mail one to you.
Cool. We'll put some information up at vibehouston.com so people can go there and they can see how to get to some of these places, and we'll explain some of this to them as well, because we definitely need these folks to know, and this kind of information is what they need to know, because we need to have them a part of this process. Not just in this election, though, in every election, especially local, but most certainly we need them right now. So, my last question for you, Ms. Sanders, how excited were you about this new VP for Biden?
Yes. To my soror, I'm so excited for a Black woman to be VP, and I can't believe they thought of picking anybody else except for a Black woman. And yes, it does matter. It absolutely matters. And I look forward to everything that's going to come out, and I look forward to women of color being interviewed to support her.
There it is, Christina D. Sanders, the politic in the building. Where can they follow you on social media?
On Instagram, I'm the Politic, and I'm Politic on Twitter.
All right. When things slow down a little bit, COVID's not trying to now wipe out the entire nation. We definitely want you to come up and talk some more politics with us, especially before the election, okay?
I'm there.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day, okay?
Okay, you too. Bye.